Hello, everybody, and welcome to our fifth and last session of Gustavo's 5-day Soup Extravaganza that I hope you've enjoyed and learned a few things. I don't like to think of this as the last day. Every time we do our 7-day program, where we see each other for 22 times, and get used to being together, I always say this is only just the introduction. Okay, so we've spent 5 days. Now you can do 5 more days. So it's just a matter of continuing with this. You can add other meals besides soups, as long as they are whole food, plant-based, and just these are the kind of strategies that we learn to do. Is tricking your mind, saying, oh, I did 5 days, I can do 5 more. It's just 5 more. Okay. Don't tell yourself, well, it's for the rest of my life, because sometimes that's overwhelming. So just 5 more days. And then after that, you'll you'll grow stronger and more used to it, and hopefully you will be able to continue. So I have here in my hands the handout that I sent you. And of course, if you haven't received it, please send me an email. You already have my email. It's info@plantemus.com, PALNT, like plant, and then EMUS.com, and I'll send it to you. But um, I will try to include it in the email that is going to go out with a replay. Okay. So just wanted to do an overview. This was a week for us to try something new, perhaps a way to get out of a rut, maybe you were you felt stuck and on a plateau, and maybe this provided an incentive to do something new and to get back on the wagon and to get back to being focused. It's not meant to be something permanent, because I guess we could live with just soups. Oh, there are hundreds of different types of soups and stews, and we theoretically we could, but we all want to try other things. So it was meant to be, like I said, just 5 days to get back on track. I do want to mention the program guidelines, which are avoiding at all costs oil, and I'll tell you why. Avoiding processed sugars, because it's empty calories, just like alcohol. Avoiding or minimizing the use of salt and white flour. And then for those of you who are struggling with losing weight, avoiding, at least for a little while, not forever. Okay. Sometimes we get into this thinking that it's forever, and it gets us in trouble because we don't like to think that we cannot have a certain food forever again. So, for those of you who are struggling with weight, avoiding for just a little while the avocados or the tofu or any other food that is a little more processed and higher in fat. And of course, anything that is not whole and very high in fat, we were avoiding this week. I also recommended that you start your day with a nice big glass of water. It can be warm water, to go more gentle in your stomach, in your system, or regular room temperature. And if you wanted to add some lemon juice or lemon and apple cider vinegar, you could do that for extra detox. And just wait at least 30 minutes or longer to eat your first meal. Listen to your body. Okay, that's like my number one recommendation. Listen to your body, because just because it's supposed to be breakfast time, if you are not hungry, don't eat it. Okay. There are days that I get up and almost immediately I'm hungry and I eat. And other days, it takes me uh, several hours. Sometimes it's 10:30, and I'm eating breakfast. And if it gets close to 11, I just skip it and I have an early lunch, okay, brunch. So learning to get the clues that the body gives us is very important. Okay. So drinking water, but you all know that if we eat whole food, plant-based, we're going to get a lot of water in the food. But of course, besides that, we need to be mindful and drink a couple of glasses of water or 2 or 3 glasses, or you can drink that as sparkling water with some lime juice, or you can have some herbal teas or coffee substitutes. That's going to provide water as well. And then for those of us who are more sugar sensitive, because that's a reality, some of us are more sugar sensitive, then you might want to try again for a week or 10 days to limit the amount of fruit that you eat. And then keep track, keep a journal. That's my second recommendation. You wouldn't believe how useful, how beneficial it is to keep a food journal. You can write this down in the evening when perhaps you want to eat late. Well, instead of that, find another activity to replace with eating. And that could be sitting down in a comfortable couch in a quiet room and just writing your thoughts of the day, not just the food, but anything that caught your attention. Maybe something like, hey, today I wasn't hungry and I followed my instinct. Okay. Or, hey, today I ate 6 times and it was all low calories and low caloric density food. And, then write the food that you ate. Those are very useful activities. Okay. So the idea of limiting fruit to 1 or 2 pieces, or perhaps for a week to not have any, is just so that you can see how your body reacts and write it down. Maybe you will be surprised that cut down your cravings because you're eating less sugar, even if it's not processed sugar. You might notice that you eat less or that you lose weight. Who knows? Or maybe you don't notice any difference, and then that was just part of the experiment. Okay. The other thing that I'm going to recommend, and it is in the handout, is to stop eating or drinking after 6 or 7 p.m. Maybe you can push it to 8 p.m., but it is a really, really good idea to stop eating or drinking 4 hours before you go to bed so that your body is not distracted in the process of digestion and can take care of repairing, detoxifying, resetting, perhaps switching to fat burning mode, different things that can happen. And then finally, this handout has day by day my suggestions. There were only suggestions of the soups to eat. And I hope that you tried some of them, maybe all of them. I don't know. There were quite a few. But now you have a long list of recipes that you can try. So I want to show you a picture, and maybe you can take with your phone a picture of this image. Anytime that you go to a convenience store or to the supermarket, or you go to a party or something, and you want to pick up something that you know is damaging to your body, that is going to create inflammation, that perhaps is going to get you back, in your weight loss goals, that it may, throw you off the wagon. something with oil, something with dairy or meat, or something that is ultra processed. So what would happen if whatever you're going to want to pick up on the front of the package or on the front of the food, what if you saw this picture that means poison? Would you eat it? Wouldn't it be nice if all of these foods that are poison to us were required to have this printed on the front? Of course, a lot of companies would go bankrupt, but this is another strategy that I teach. I have this image in my phone and I take it out when I want to pick up this or that. Okay. And I say, do you want to put poison in your body? Because that's really what it is. There's no way around it. Do you want to poison yourself? Do you want to hurt yourself? And then you ask yourself, why do you want to do this to yourself? And then stop and wait and answer it. Give it an answer. Sometimes it is embarrassing because the only answer is kind of a silly answer. And it's like, well, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Well, you know now. And you know that there are things that you will pay a price, sometimes a high price. It may not be tomorrow or next week, but eventually you will. Okay, so I wanted to show you that image because I think it's very powerful. And I want to remind you why we need to stop eating oil or minimize it to the bare minimum, okay? Oil, I mean, let's go with the obvious. It's the highest calorically dense substance on the planet. There's no discussion about this. This is science-based, okay? Oil has 4,000 calories per pound, and there is nothing that has as many calories as this. But not only that, because if they were starch calories, we know that we burn them first thing once they enter the body. And if it's not burned, it's burned as heat. The body finds a way to burn it. But on top of having too many calories, is calories that come 100% from fat. Sometimes even saturated fat. Yes, even vegetable oils have saturated fats, especially coconut oil, one of the worst things you can possibly put in your body. So what else? Why else not oil besides the number of calories and that all of those calories are fat? Also, there is no water and no fiber. That means that the satiety circuit or system is hijacked. The body, because there's no fiber, cannot count calories accurately. And it will not tell you that you're hungry, that you're full, and you will keep eating. What else does oil do that is medically and scientifically proven? Inflammation. It causes inflammation in our bodies, in our arteries, in our joints. I'm just passing on the information that you can easily find on medical journals or websites. Okay, hot oils is even worse. They have free radicals. They destroy basically your inside. Of course, we can eat things like berries and many greens that will help minimize this damage that the free radicals produce. But it's just better to not even produce it. What else do oils do? They have too many omega-6 fatty acids. Just because we need omega-6, it doesn't mean that we can have 10 times more than we need, because the balance of omega-6 and omega-3 is broken, and that imbalance can produce many illnesses and problems in our body. So instead of eating the olive oil, the olive with the water and the fiber and the nutrients. That's a whole food. Yes, it still has a lot of fat. And if you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to be eating a lot of olives, but it's better to eat the olive than the olive oil. Instead of having avocado oil, eat the avocado, eat the whole food. If you want, don't eat the coconut oil, eat the coconut, okay? Eat the corn, don't eat corn oil. Eat the peanuts, not the peanut oil. You get the idea. Eat the whole food and nothing but the whole food. And if your goal is to lose weight, avoid these things that I just mentioned for a while. So just want to mention that in my 7-day program, I show you how to make these delicious meals that are simple with 3 or 4 ingredients. We stop chasing recipes and only very few, like I said, ingredients. And there is a sequence. The days are sequenced until we arrive at the last 2 days for accelerated weight loss and cleanse. And we also have an ongoing support group that meets every week. And we also have a private Facebook group. It's a wonderful program. And I will give you a gift in just a little while. So what about moving forward? What about tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and next week? What about that? Okay, I'm going to just mention a few suggestions. Number 1, start your day with a full glass of water. Number 2, before every meal, start with a bowl of soup or a nice big salad. This soup and salad with no starches in it, unless the soup or the salad is going to be your main course. Okay, then after you had your soup or your salad with no starch, then go ahead and eat your main starchy meal. Eat until you're fully satisfied. A whole food, plant-based diet is a wonderful way to not measure or count or weigh food. What happens if you get hungry in between meals? Well, always have some delicious roasted sweet potatoes in the oven or in your refrigerator. If you don't like sweet potatoes, maybe you haven't tried all of them. Maybe you will find one type, like the Hana sweet potatoes, for example, that are very sweet. They have this vanilla type of flavor, and they have so much sugar, it's almost too much, okay? Maybe that's something that you need to try. What else if you can have as a snack? Just eating one date, perhaps 2 dates, is going to cut that craving because they're so sweet, and it is a whole food. You could also have a bowl with all types of berries for the antioxidants and add a little bit of chopped celery or chopped cucumber, okay? And then for those of you who don't need to lose weight, or maybe you want to gain weight, believe it or not, sometimes there are people that need to gain some weight. Then go ahead and eat some nuts and seeds, okay? You can have some whole wheat bread. You can have peanut butter with the bread or a banana or whatever, or with an apple. But stay away from things like energy bars or more processed food unless it is a treat every now and then. Another recommendation is to keep a food journal that you can write at night or sometime during the day. What else can you have that is crispy that you can eat while watching a movie instead of something that is high calorie? Well, you can roast some Brussels sprouts or make oven fried potatoes with homemade, ketchup. Cut the potatoes very thinly. You can also roast cauliflower. It's delicious. You can also replace popcorn with roasted chickpeas. You just cook chickpeas or get them out of a can. You sprinkle, while they're wet, you sprinkle something like smoked paprika or chili powder or any other spice you want, and you put them on a baking sheet with parchment paper in the oven at 400, 425, and you roast them. They are crunchy, delicious snack. And it's not a bad idea to include some kind of movement on a daily basis, like walking, or maybe you like running, or maybe you're more active and you climb or bike, but you don't have to do a lot, just do some. Okay. What else? Avoid eating out, and if you must, research the menu. Look at the menu online and see if there are sides that you can order, like I do when believe it or not, I like to go to steakhouses because it's one of the best places to go for sides. So I make my own meal with a baked potato and the sweet potatoes and steamed broccoli or a side salad, and I have a perfect meal that way. Okay, and then remember, from now on, that fiber and water are your friends. That's what we want to think about it all the time. So I'm going to read here in the comments. So I'd like to ask you how you did. Maybe this was not a good week for you. You were busy and you couldn't do it all, and you're going to do it next week, or maybe you did it halfway. But how did it go? I mean, did you like it? Were you able to make some of the soups? Did you weigh? Did you lose some weight? If you want to type it here, you can type it. If you want to unmute and talk, you can, or just send me an email and tell me how it went. So while I read this, let's see. You can interrupt me anytime. Well, I see Julie with a hand up.
Okay, hi. For me,
Hi.
it was
Hi,
a
Julie.
lot of fun. All the different soups, I realized how infrequent I had been using them. So it feels, and it's cooler here right now, so it feels perfect. Strangely enough, it gets real hot and then cool. But just the variety and then experimenting with what I had, if I didn't have everything. And I didn't need to make it all, but I will definitely continue. And I really like the idea. I want to keep doing it. Because I feel like I don't have to worry about going to find the water, making sure I'm having water, and it seems to have done something. I had something funny with my stomach, and it seems to have really helped that. I don't know, just all the fiber and fluids just flush it out, and my body was able to, fix whatever. But there was something funny, so I have really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate your time and effort and your support and all the good things you do.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm glad that it can be of any help. All right.
I noticed that my tongue is kind of sore after drinking the lemonade. I mean, I'm assuming that's what it's from, the lemonade and the apple cider vinegar. So I just wonder if I just drank warm water, would that pretty much do the same thing?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. Or yes, you can just go with the water. And what you could do, that I've done before, is I've started adding the lemon and the vinegar a little bit at a time, because it may be some people are more sensitive in their tongue. So you can
Okay.
just do less, But I think, or every now and then, but just the water alone will help flush all of those toxins that the body disposed of during the night.
Well, I have been drinking a glass of water 30 minutes before every meal that I'm eating, and I like the result. Would just
Yeah.
say that my body is getting rid of things. We'll just say that
Yes. Yeah.
more than
Well,
once a day.
yeah.
More than once a day.
You all should have noticed that you were going to the bathroom more often if you do what we were doing this week. Yeah, the body responds very fast. It's always fascinating how fast the body responds for the good or for the bad, and how the body is constantly trying to fix, to heal itself and to find balance. It's just that we are the ones that are sometimes throwing it off balance with meals. But you don't worry about organic too much. Of course, it is better always if you can find organic fruits and vegetables. And whenever I can, I do. I get it. But if not, it's still eating a whole food plant-based diet is going to show so many benefits, even if it is not organic. If it is not organic and you feel funny about it, then go ahead and peel the carrots or the apples or the peaches. Go ahead and peel it, or the potatoes. Otherwise, just eat it. It's still whole foods. There are a lot of fiber. There aren't any heavy metals like if you were eating fish, let's say. So I believe that the body will get rid of it as long as we're eating whole food like we were doing this week, and having a lot of water. But organic is better. I love to have my little vegetable garden in the back, because the difference in the taste and the color and the smell, everything is, you can tell, something doesn't last 3 weeks. Well, like some of the things you buy at the supermarket is like, what is this made out of? It lasts so long, but when it's really organic, it doesn't last that long because it doesn't have all of those chemicals in it. So Gary says, I lost 4 pounds Monday morning to Friday morning. Well, Gary, that is impressive. I know that this is probably a lot of fluid that was going out because we use little or no salt, and it's also because, yes, you are eating low calorie density foods. So that is amazing. Imagine if you could, losing 4 pounds a month is already a huge success. I consider losing anything, even if it's half a pound a month, as long as the scale is going down, we're going in the right direction. Okay. But that is wonderful. So congratulations. Yeah, that is such a good feeling, when you feel lighter. Sometimes you don't lose weight, or you don't lose a lot of weight, but your clothes start to feel a little more loose. Okay. This soup reset was great, Janice says, and helped me to get back on track. Thanks for sharing your time and recipes. Well, you're welcome. I also appreciate this time for your classes, as it filled the void from following AJ. Oh, I know. Yeah. So Gina says, I enjoyed this 5-day workshop. I lost 2.4 pounds, so almost 2.5. I've added other stuff to the meal plan, like rice and sheet pan vegetables for myself and my family. Okay, well, good. That's great. Let me show you what you will get. I appreciate your support and your lovely emails and comments and just being here. So At one point I made a PDF that was included in some of those bundles, and though it was sold for, I think it was sold for $15 or something like that. I'm going to send you this as a gift to all of you for being part of this program. You will get this in the email. It's called Gustavo's 6 Easy Recipes from his 7-day detox and reset program. All written recipes and videos, so you can see the videos are included here. And a lot of these are recipes. Let's see. I'll just quickly show you. This is the chopping with Chopin soup. And then you have the link here to see me making it. Then you have my potato supreme, which is a game changer for weight loss. And there's a video. Then there's my mother's orange soup. She calls it the orange soup because everything she puts in it is orange. And that's the picture of my mother who is 84 years old, but you know, she is a whole food plant-based eater. And it helps, I guess that helps with aging. Okay, then there's the green cabbage and green apple salad. And there's the video. And then one of my best salads is called Kale-licious salad. You have to learn how to massage the kale or it won't work. Okay, so watch the video and you learn. Oh, and then there's this hash browns with greens, which is one of my favorite breakfasts. So this is for you. When you get the email, make sure that you look at the very top of the email or at the very bottom, because sometimes the attachment is at the top. So watch for it before you tell me that you didn't get it, because it is going to be included in the email. And remember, as usual, if it's not in your inbox, look in the spam, look in the promotions, look in other places, because it might be there. And if you cannot find it, go ahead and email me at the email that you already know is info@plantemas.com. Okay. Also, just as a reminder, thank you thank you for sending. Some of you send a little voluntary contribution. I really appreciate that. And many of you bought my book that I wrote with Shada. And if you haven't, this book has some of the best recipes that are easy, and they promote weight loss. And when you get this book, remember to send the proof of purchase to the email that you'll see in the screen. And you will get a PDF with Shada's 5 recipes that are all rice-based, Persian recipes. And then you'll get my 5 recipes with desserts. Okay, many of those are desserts that my grandmother used to make. So very unique. You won't find them anywhere. And okay, so here's another gift to you. I'm going to include this in the email that I'll send out. This is something that I only offer to those who participate in my 7-day program and then they continue to take it. So I offer them a 50% off. But I decided that for those of you who register for this free 5-day program, I will extend this benefit. And if you would like to join us in our next 7-day program, which starts in September, I will go ahead and give you the 50% off. And you will pay $148 instead of $300. And if you want to register for both of them, there are only 2 left this year, one in September and one in November. You will also get 50% off. But please don't register from my website, because that's going to charge you the regular price. So you will need a link that I will include in the email. You need to use that link that I'm putting, because that link already has the coupon attached to it, and it'll give you 50% off. That link is good to register for either for September or November. And if you want to go ahead and register for both of them. There is a different link that I'm going to put here, but they will be included in the email. Okay, just want to encourage you in any way possible to stay on track. Okay, and remember that there is a way to have what we call waterless cookware. That means cooking without water, which is nearly impossible to do on any type of cookware. But the one that I'm using, you can cook with no water, keep more nutrients. Is that cookware that has the 316 surgical stainless steel that is made in the USA, that has the safety valve that tells you, that keeps your cooking temperature at less than 200. If you don't have this cookware, and it's, it's fine, but maybe you can invest in a little thermometer, and you can from now on check the temperature of your cooking. Try to not let it go beyond 200 Fahrenheit so that you can keep the nutrients, right? Okay, so that's, oh, I guess one more thing. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, that can make a huge difference. And I'm always here. You can always email me. I usually answer fast. And if I can do anything to help you, I'll be here. Well, be on the lookout, because at some point I'm going to do another. I have an idea that I've been wanting to do, and that a lot of people struggle with salad dressings. So at some point, I'm going to do something like what I did this week, and it will be 5 days of salads and salad dressings. You can have that wonderful ranch dressing that you miss. You can have a lot of very flavorful and creamy salad dressings. You just have to learn how to make them. And so I hope to do that in the near future. And then I want to do another one, because I think in another life I was a baker. I love baking, even though I don't do it very much, but I want to do a mini program of baking. Okay, so just be on the lookout. Make sure you're subscribed to my email list, otherwise you won't know when I do this. And to subscribe to my email list, you have to go to my website, which is plantemes.com, and click on subscribe, and just make sure that you agree to the terms and conditions. I'm not going to sell your name or your email list, and I'm not going to email you every day. But you have to agree, otherwise my emails will be blocked. Okay, well, thank you again. And I'll be sending out the replay with these, with the PDF of the 6 easy recipes, and the PDF of the soup, of the 5-day soup, just in case you get it. And I'll send the link in case you wanted to join the 7-day program. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.